In this video that you're about to watch, I'm going to give a few reasons as to why I think pensions as a retirement option for people kind of under the age of about 35 will not be sustainable for us, and why you should probably choose a different option like a 401k or a 403b. Hope you enjoy and hope this helps. Let's say you work for a locality and they have the 403b and a pension. Most of them do. They offer both of those. And then this will kind of also get us into the reason as to why for-profit organizations don't offer pensions anymore, unless they are a really, really old company who's been around for a really long time. Okay, so like I kind of explained, a pension, the company takes in all of the pension contributions, and then those are considered pension assets. Okay. And then they take those contributions and they invest them for you into different investments, securities, whatever it is, and then they promise you a certain benefit on the back end of it. Okay, so the company takes the money in, they invest it for you, and they're promising you something later, at a later date when you retire. So a company then has these pension assets, okay, and then they invest them and they try to estimate the return on the invested dollars that the company's going to get, and then they kind of base what they're going to pay out off of their estimates, which is pretty interesting because estimating investment returns is extremely complicated and unpredictable kind of year to year. Year over year, you can have 1 year where you kick ass in the stock market, and you can have 1 year where you're eating dog crap. You know, it is what it is. So there's pension assets, which are the contributions, and then investments they make off of those contributions, and then the pension liabilities are based off of what those companies and organizations promised to pay out on the back end. Okay. So I made in an earlier post, and I'll try to show it again here, most organizations, just about 100% of them, have a net pension liability. Okay, so that means that the money that these companies are taking in, so their pension assets, compared to their pension liabilities, what they promised to pay out, their liabilities exceed their pension assets. That's where you get the term an underfunded pension, okay? When you have a net pension liability, which is you take those pension assets, pension liabilities, net them together. If you had more assets than liabilities, you have a net pension asset. If you have more liabilities than assets, then you have a net pension liability, okay? So really what has happened is these people have, the organizations, made their benefits, the promised benefits of a pension, based off of what they expected to get in the returns off of those contributed investments, okay? So with an estimate, it's an estimate. Okay, they're promising you money in the future based off of what they think they can get today in the future on the invested money. And most companies, I would almost say all of these nonprofit localities, cities, and whatnot, have net pension liabilities, okay? And I'm going to try to show you this here in a little bit. If you take a look at state and local governments, the net pension liability is somewhere around $4.5 to $5 trillion with a T and an R, trillion. Okay, that's a million millions, thousand billions, $4.5 to $5 trillion in a net pension liability. That means that these pensions are $4.5 to $5 trillion underfunded for state and local government units. Underfunded. Why are they underfunded? It's not because corporate executives came in and mismanaged the funds and they're putting it in their pocket first. No, that is not the reason. The reason is because they're promising you future dollars off of what they think they can get in the market. So let's say they estimated a 10% return on the contributions that they invested in, and they only got 4% return. And that happens year after year after year after year after year. Ouch. That's one reason. Another reason, it kind of is the same for Social Security. Pensions kind of work a lot like Social Security, okay? You're putting money in, you don't see it, it's not yours, but you're promised something on the back end when you're old, okay? Kind of works like Social Security does. And another reason why pensions are really underfunded is because of the working population that's contributing to pensions versus how many people have retired, okay? The baby boomers, old people. You can blame old people for being so much of a percentage of the population and then not having as many kids as their parents had. So again, like I said, that's kind of the same problem that we have with Social Security right now, is that there are just more people retired than there are working. So think about it like this. So there's a crap ton of people who are taking money out of the pensions, the pension liabilities, than there are putting in pension assets. So that's where, again, you get a really big difference and create that net pension liability. So add that on top of the bad estimates. I mean, estimates are never accurate. It's just an estimate, okay? But so you add that on top of the estimates that came in under, okay? And then that's where you get $4.5 trillion deficits, underfunded pensions. That's just with the state and local governments. When you throw in the for-profit, they have an underfunded pension by about $8 trillion. Ouch. Ouch.